Hey there guys, and welcome back to another reaction video, mainly because I was originally intending to make a Monster Girl Encyclopedia video, but due to circumstances which are crap, I forgot the time, you know, that kind of thing, and at the moment don't really feel like editing, so yeah. Anyway, today we will be reacting to SCP-3790, Department of Abnormalities. Haven't we done this one before? Anyway.
Earlier today I received orders from my superior. I'm being sent to investigate a mysterious SCP located under a warehouse on the outskirts of London. It seems important
On London,
the
maybe?
SCP was just discovered, and the Overseer Council wants a detailed report on it right away. I pull up outside of the Port Superior Company warehouse. It is abandoned, and from the look of it has been for a long time. I enter the building and make my way to an opening at the far side of the warehouse. I descend the narrow stairwell.
If you know what that's
where I
from,
see a
good
small
for you.
black door. I was told there was always a guard posted by the door.
Doubt it.
No one here. I stop just outside of the black door and look up. Above the door handle is a placard that says SCP Foundation Department of Abnormalities.
Oh dear.
But nothing feels right. Maybe I should just turn around and tell my superior I couldn't find the door. I take a deep breath.
Doubt it. They probably know you're lying at that point.
Budge. I step back for a moment and take a breath.
Maybe it's locked.
Then I glance
just saying.
outside the door and see the sliding lock.
Yeah, that's the first thing I saw, though.
I move the metal rod aside and try the door again. This time, it's
open sesame.
I shake my head in dismay and walk into the other side of the black door. I have now entered SCP-3790. A series of dim emergency lights flicker on. There are 4 doors. On the other side of the hallway is an elevator. Hello? I say, only slightly louder than a whisper.
Bonjour.
There is no response. I walk along the grated floor. The metal rattles under my boots. I can see through the grating, and it appears there are several floors below me. I come to the first door and examine it. All of the doors are identical. They are made up of heavy metal.
And welded shut, apparently.
And placards that identify what is in the room. All of the handles to the doors have been broken off, and the doors themselves have been welded shut. It seems that whoever abandoned the Department of Abnormalities wanted to make sure whatever's in these rooms never got out. As I stare into the room, I begin to feel something well up inside of me. I zone out for a moment. When I regain my bearings, my hand has moved itself to the spot where the door handle once was, as if while I was in my daze, something tried to trick me into opening the door. I immediately shove my hands into my pockets, turn and walk back toward the black door to get out of this place.
Guess I will have to edit the video.
As I approach the exit,
frickin' ads, really.
I race over to it and try turning
too
it
unskippable.
On. It will not budge. I've been locked in SCP-3790. I begin to panic as my eyes dart from door to door, scanning for a way out. There is nowhere to go but deeper into the Department of Abnormalities. I glance down to my right and notice something lying on the ground.
A gun.
A clipboard. I pick it up and skim through the pages of the legal pad that is attached to it. Most of what is written seems like the ravings of a madman, but on one page there are some coherent notes. It says, "Think it's about time. Need to lock down the other sites before I go. Take care." There is a list of 10 Roman numerals with either the word locked or unlocked beside them.
7, I mean, 3 have unlocked.
And 10 all remain unlocked. I'm not sure if this is a good or a bad thing, but it seems that whoever was here before me is now on their way to complete what they started. I toss the clipboard and look down the corridor, hoping that a magical door will appear and let me out of the Department of Abnormalities.
Doubt it.
For several minutes I decide to explore SCP-3790 more thoroughly. Perhaps there is another way out, on a different level.
Maybe.
My hopes up slightly, but part of me believes that this will be where I spend the rest of my short life. I walk
probably.
up to the door where I think I hear music coming from. I wipe the dust and grime off the placard and read what it says. The name written on it is Vivaldi. I slide away from the viewport and look inside. The chamber is completely empty except for one object. In the far corner of the room, a violin is propped up against the wall. In front of it is a broken bow. I squint my eyes to get a better look at the instrument. It seems normal enough. Suddenly an uneasy feeling comes over me, like I'm being watched. I whip the panel closed over the viewport and back away from the door. I turn down the hallway and walk to the next door. The name on the placard for this room is Montezuma's Face. I'm a little hesitant to open the panel and peer inside because of what might be looking back at me. I take a breath to build a bit of courage and go for it. I slide the panel open, and to my relief, all that is on the other side of the viewport is an empty room with a metal table in the center. On it rests an ornate wooden chest. The chest has been secured with a large steel padlock. I put my face a little closer to the glass to try to get a better look at the markings on the chest. I can hear a faint clicking sound, like that of a ticking clock coming from the room. Other than that, all is still. I shrug and check the
Also,
next door. To my surprise,
isn't Montezuma actually one of the kings of, or rulers of, God, what was it called again? The Incas or something? Mayans, I think. I think Montezuma was one of the Mayan kings, if I recall correctly.
Room has had its
I know, I remember weird crap like that.
Viewport, the room is completely empty. This is strange, as this door has also been welded shut. The fourth door in the corridor has had its placard damaged, making the text on it unreadable. I slide the panel open and look inside. There appears to be nothing there, but upon closer inspection, I see that the concrete walls are covered in claw marks. It looks like whatever was in this chamber had incredibly sharp talons, and was not happy about being detained. On the floor are pieces of bone that have had the meat picked clean from them. Each room is another mystery, but offers no way out of the Department of Abnormalities. My only hope is to go deeper into the facility. I push the button for the elevator. The door chimes and slides open. I step inside and look at the 7 buttons on the panel. Next to each one is the level number it corresponds to. Naturally, I'm hesitant to push any of them, but I know I've got to start somewhere if I'm going to have any chance of getting out of here.
Also, you're probably on level 1.
Press the button for level 2. The doors slide shut, and the elevator descends deeper into the depths of the Department of Abnormalities. The elevator comes to a stop, and the doors slide open. I step out.
I'm liking this so far, actually.
It seems identical to the first one, except there is no black door on the opposite side of the hallway. This worries me a little, but I continue on. According to the placard of the first door of level 2, the room contains a man named Ian. I slide the panel open and look through the viewport. In the corner of the room sits a thin, pale man wearing a dirty straitjacket. He is blindfolded and does not seem to notice me. His chest moves slowly up and down. I feel bad for the man being cooped up in there all alone. But then again,
I mean, there's probably a reason.
I have no idea what Ian is capable of. The second room on this level contains something called the Crying Boy. When I look into the chamber, I expect to see a young child weeping. Instead, there appears to be a painting
that painting of a crying boy, right?
It has a sheet draped over it, so I cannot see what is on the canvas. But from inside the room, I can hear the sobs of a small child. The placard for the third room indicates that the creatures that are contained within it are called the Watchers. When I look into the chamber, I see 3 humanoid figures huddled together. They are all staring towards the far corner with their backs turned toward me. The creatures sway back and forth slowly. It's an unsettling sight, to say the least. One that will be difficult to forget, and will definitely haunt my dreams. The fourth door on level 2 has no placard. When I look inside, I see another dark hallway, similar to the one I'm in. I try to force the door open, as it might be a way out, but like all the rest,
handle's missing and is welded shut.
I kick the metal door, hoping and wishfully thinking it will make an impact, but instead I instantly regret my decision. I contemplate my extreme lack of karate skills as I limp back to the elevator in defeat. I descend
oh boy, more
to the
editing.
Level. Room 1 on level 3 contains something called the
Infinite
Cold.
am I right?
When I look into the chamber, I can see that the floor is covered with a thin layer of ice. What is odd is that the interior of the room seems to go on forever in all directions. It even appears to extend to the room next to it. But when I look into the viewport to the second room, there is a solid wall between the infinite cold and the empty pedestal in room 2. I check the placard for the second room and find that it is called Sorrow. It looks like there was once something on top of the pedestal, but the 4 finger marks left in the dust that now covers it indicates the object had been moved recently. The third room is named World Without Man. Unsurprisingly, the chamber is completely empty. The fourth room on this level is labeled Adam's Hatred. This does not seem like something I want to see, but I slide the panel away from the viewport and glance in anyway. In the back of the room is a large black mass slowly oscillating in mid-air. I feel anger begin to fill me. The rage of this creature is palpable. It's being transferred from the black mass to me. Scared of what it, or I, might do, I run back to the elevator and hit the button for level 4. On the placard of the first room on level 4 are the words, "The Morning Star." All that is in the chamber is a rusted sword hanging from the wall. However, as I move my face closer to the window to get a better look, the temperature starts to rise. It feels like the fires of hell are just on the other side of this door. The placard for the next room is labeled Wormwood, but when I open the panel to peer inside, there is something obstructing my view. I don't spend much time here, and move on to the next. The placard on door 3 names this anomaly as Harmonia's Necklace. Within the chamber, a golden chain hangs from a post against the back wall. A single candle burns just beneath the necklace, illuminating the space around it. When I look
now that
closer at the
necklace
candle,
looks like something
I
a
realize the
rapper would
chamber
wear.
has no floor. The light seems to be floating among infinite darkness. The fourth chamber on this level has no placard. When I look inside, the room is unlit. All I feel is a sense of dread, a feeling that follows me all the way back to the elevator. I descend to level 5. The first door is labeled as the Heart of Man. Inside is a human heart suspended in mid-air by a wire hanging from the ceiling. I look closer, and to my horror, I see the heart is still beating. The entire room starts to distort. My own heart aches. I run down the hallway to the second door. The placard for this room has been pried off. The word "Hello" has been scratched into the metal where the label once was. When I try to slide the panel over to look into the room, I find that just like the door itself, the panel has also been welded shut. Whatever is on the other side of this door must truly be terrible. The third door contains something called Channel 55. In the room, there is a small CRT television set under a dark cloth. I can see the light from the TV shining through the sheet, but cannot make out the image on the screen. The fourth door of floor 5 has a placard with the words "Living Nightmare" printed on it.
Oh
I pause
dear.
for a moment to think if I really want to see what is inside this room. I figure I've come this
Your
far, and maybe
mother.
it's just a trick to keep me from finding the exit. I
You know?
slowly slide the panel away from the viewport. It makes a sound like a creaky door opening in a haunted house. In the room, there is a bed resting on a metal frame. Someone appears to be lying on the bed with a sheet pulled over their head. Creepy, I think. I walk back to the elevator and cannot help
I've
but
seen
feel
worse.
I'm about to reach something terrifyingly significant in my journey. One way or another, whatever is on the next 2 floors will seal my fate. I get off on level 6. It looks identical to all of the previous floors. The first room contains something called Mr. Silence. Resting on the back chamber wall is a tall wooden box. It has been painted black with a purple W adorning the front. I hold
Wondertainment.
my breath for a moment. It's so quiet that the silence hurts my ears. The second room contains the dead man's chair. In the corner of
Purple
the chamber is a
W,
wooden seat.
and it
There's
has
no one
Mr.
sitting
in
on
its
it,
name.
But as I look at the shadow against the wall, there is clearly a figure seated there. I glance back at the wooden chair, but it is still empty, and upon a second look at the shadow, the figure is gone. The placard on the third door reads, "Otzi." When I slide open the viewport, it is covered in
Oh,
ice.
Utsi, like
I
that
can't
mummy
see
they
completely
found.
through the ice, but from what I can make out, there seems to be a dark shape standing in the middle of the room. The fourth door on level 6 contains Apollyon's crown. There are scratch marks all across the metal door. It looks as if something was trying to get into the room instead of out of it. In the chamber itself is a silver lockbox resting on a table. Whatever is inside must be very important to someone.
I mean, Apollion's crown. It's probably a crown.
Press the button for level
Just
7.
spitballing
The
here.
doors slide shut, and the elevator begins to descend to the bottom level. I know that if there is no way out on this floor, I will be trapped like all of the other objects in the Department of Abnormalities.
I mean, is
The
that
dark
really a
shines,
bad
indicating
thing,
I've
though?
reached what I hope is my way out of here. The doors slide open. I take a few steps out into
There are
the
worse
corridor
ways
that
to
looks
go
like
in the
all
SCP
rest.
Foundation,
I turn
so
and gaze into the first room on the floor. Instantly, terror fills every centimeter of space in my core. It feels as if my heart stops, frozen in fear for a moment. I try to scream, but nothing escapes. I come to my senses and am able to use my legs again. I run back to the elevator and hit the button for the first floor. As the elevator ascends back to where I began this nightmarish tour, my body trembles more and more. As soon as the elevator chimes at level 1, without hesitation and with my shaking hands and nimble fingers, I immediately rip open the button panel and tear out the wires connected to level 7.
That's probably...
to see what is that far down in the Department of Abnormalities.
Probably shouldn't, but...
Now watch SCP-5545, Mysterious Tunnels in Antarctica Abnormality, or check out 25...
Honestly, ripping out that, you know... Ripping out that, power cable to that floor probably is a bad idea, but... Meh. What are you gonna do, right? Anyway, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video of whatever I'll be making. So yeah, bye.